Against.
I would like to issue a non-violent fatwa against Lynn Cheney for her attempts to undermine free speech on college campuses across America.
James W. Norton. Is the middle name W? Or I just make that up?
I would like to issue an extra violent fatwa.
He ignored me.
Against Rosie O'Donnell for the crimes of being a self-righteous, hypocritical, morbidly obese manatee with bad tattoos and no magazine. Every time I hear the term cutie patootie, I wonder what a hammer would look like buried in her Easter Island statue head.
Well, folks,
I'm not finished. For 6 years, you had us believing you were nice and housewifey, when deep down, all you really wanted was to lay back while Madonna left a slug trail on your face.
Well, I guess see, if he hadn't cut me off, you would have missed that one, folks.
I want to change my fatwa.
To Jim?
Well,
it's too late. We have to get the hell out of here, unfortunately.
We got a couple things that we started a few days ago, and we got it in front of us now. Norton's fatwa on Tough Crowd. What was this about again?
It was just that we were talking about Rosie, and I was just saying that one of the things I kind of felt bad about, like, you know how you don't regret much, was when I trashed Rosie horribly. Because A, she was nice to me when I met her, and B, after her show, I started to like her because she was honest. She brutalized Michael Jackson. And on the very first episode of Tough Crowd, you know, Patrice knows the Act 4s we would do. Mine was a fatwa. Colin had us issue fatwas, and mine was on Rosie O'Donnell. And this was when Janeane Garofalo gave me the thumbs down. Because she was her fatwa was a non-violent one. That was the way she did it.
And it should be, Jimmy. But that's like, what she's all about.
But here's show business for you.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy, he likes Rosie because of like what he because Janeane Garofalo. I would trash Janeane Garofalo until I met her. And I'm like, why couldn't you be as bad as I hoped you would be so I could hate you?
Oh, is that what it is?
She ended up liking me, so I could never really trash Janeane. This is show business. I could easily trash Fathead, his new friend, that bubblehead Rosie O'Donnell, because I never met her.
You know, he's right. The only person that isn't like that I know is Opie. I swear to you, because I'm like that too. I could lay some venom out on people, and then when I meet them, it pisses me off when they're nice and different than I thought, and you know, you talk to them, they're engaging, and then you leave going, God, I really wanted to hate that idiot.
See, I don't have that in my head.
And Opie's just like, I hate you. I don't care if I get cancer and you cure it. I'm going to still hate you.
The word you're looking for is a soul.
Yeah.
just shut you down.
Right.
Where were we, though? A tangent. Oh, the Rosie O'Donnell thing?
And what Patrice was saying, the opposite. I had the opposite thing with Janeane Garofalo, where I kind of thought everybody was just trashing her, and I would always defend her. Cause I always said that she was a decent stand-up. I never thought she was a bad stand-up. I thought she was kind of original, and people always trash her, like, she's all right. And then I met her and dealt with her, and to me she was so phony because we went through an Act 4 rehearsal. We used to do that. Remember, we would read through our Act 4s so the network could censor them, so we would all see each other's Act 4s. And afterwards, she said to me, the rehearsal, she goes, do you really feel that way about Rosie? And I'm like, well, it was more her TV personality that I hated so much than who she is. I just hated the phoniness of when she was on her show.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I did it in front of an audience, she's thumbs downing me, like she couldn't believe it. It was like, you phony, you knew what I was going to say, and you're acting like you're taking off guard.
She's protecting her own...
Exactly.
Now, why wouldn't you call her out on that?
I was too nervous. First Tough Crowd. To be honest with you, if I had to go back and do it again, I would have. But we were timed in those things, and it was the first one. We were 8 test shows.
Yeah, I got you.
I didn't feel confident enough to do that. So I trashed Rosie in this fatwa, and that was one I felt bad about. And I've never dealt with her, but she was nice to me when I did deal with her. I'm like, why did I do that? Because she was actually very cool and very down to earth.
But why do we like who likes us and dislike who dislikes us? Like, let's say I really like you guys. But you go, yeah, I hate Patrice.
I mean, let's say.
But why that? Fair enough. But why would your hatred, if I really like what you give me, right, but you don't like what I do, why is it I can't still like you? Why can't I go, you know what? Anthony hates me, but boy, I really like the dude.
You can. It's called the wife of an alcoholic. I think it's healthy to like people who like you. It's a little healthy.
But I'm saying, why do you have to like her because she's now likable? Why can't you still dislike her?
Dislike?
I don't know. And I'm talking about me, too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Garofalo, I trash her because she used to pick up her paper and read it.
Yeah, read it off the stool. It was always that too cool for the room delivery.
And I hated that.
Look, I just stopped in to try out some material on you guys.
Yeah, some new material. Let me pull out my little piece of paper and put it on the stool here.
Because I'm that damn good.
And I
let me see what's in the book
all
here.
rehearsed.
But when I met her, she not only was she likable, she liked me more than it's like, why are you being this why are you liking me like this?
I would have no problem if she was sitting there just to look at her and just go, ugh.
See, and that's what I was bringing up before.
I have no problem doing it.
Me and Opie,
None whatsoever.
A lot of similarities with the,
you have a problem not doing it, actually.
Growing up and getting stepped on and stuff. Now, you handle things. I still, to this day, if I see myself getting stepped on, I'll try at the beginning to handle it with diplomacy. I will try to be diplomatic. Opie, shock and awe, will just break out the nukes and
hold on, this is where it changed, by the way. When I started working with Anthony at BAB, I was still very nice, a very nice guy on the radio, very innocent, blah, blah, blah. It was when we went to Boston and I knew Ant and I had something and they were still just getting in my way.
We were just being squatted upon.
I'm like, you know what? I'm done with this. And I changed on a dime that day.
Yeah.
That day.
Schizo-like.
And I've never looked back.
Now, that's
never
the
looked
same
back.
thing.
Sometimes I'll leave the studio and somebody will be saying something. I'm like, why didn't I? I'll beat myself up at home. Like, why didn't I confront that person?
That's the same thing with a fat man, a fat kid who liked women.
Oh, boy.
And who was very nice.
And what was his name?
His name was Little Treacy. and who used to write poems and used to give up and used to say, will you go to this thing with me? And girls would go, beat it, fat boy. So it's the same. Wait, it's the same thing that once I decided, you know what? I'm going to take a L. That's what you decide. You're going to start taking a loss. You'd rather take a loss than to sit there and have that warped kind of bent over feeling. You know what I'm saying? Where your soul looks like Jimmy. Like it's like the way Jimmy looks. That's how your inner soul is. A little bent up, funny looking man.
Is that a compliment?
That's what happened. But that's what happened to me. When you think I'm hard with women, that's the same thing that happened to Opie.
I think
same thing that happened to you.
I think you're crazy hard with women.
Let's play this fatwa. Fatwa. So it's Rosie. You did this before you met her, and now you love her. And now
I did it after I met her, and I regretted it because she had been so nice to me when I did meet her.
Oh, wow.
I just did it because I was attacking that public persona, and I kind of felt bad about it after I did it. Not like she was going to hurt because I'd already met her. It's like she was so nice in hindsight. I was like, why'd you do that, man? She was nice to you on a personal level. And whatever, the more I saw her trashing other celebrities, the more I liked her.
Relax, because her act also is trashing people that she seems to care about on a personal level. So screw her.
I haven't done this, I
thought she was a boob on
Forget
the show, especially when she got after my boy there with the gun boy. And
absolutely.
With him.
Blindsided him.
I think I mentioned that. I don't remember. I haven't watched it. All
right, let's listen to this.
3 years.
James W. Norton. Is the middle name W? Or I just make that up?
I would like to issue an extra violent fatwa.
You ignored me.
Against Rosie O'Donnell for the crimes of being a self-righteous, hypocritical, morbidly obese manatee with bad tattoos and no magazine. Every time I hear the term cutie patootie, I wonder what a hammer would look like buried in her Easter Island statue head. Well, folks, I'm not finished. For 6 years, you had us believing you were nice and housewifey, when deep down, all you really wanted was to lay back while Madonna left a slug trail on your face.
Well, I guess see, if you hadn't cut me off, you would have missed that one, folks. To Jim, well, it's too late. We have to get the hell out of here, unfortunately. Thank you all for the, get on the jihad bandwagon, folks, yourself, and go issue your own fatwas to people that you don't like. We'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it wasn't all that. They actually made me change. That Easter Island statue, I had Down syndrome size ahead or whatever.
Oh, and they made you change it.
And the extra violent one was in response to Janeane going nonviolent.
Yeah.
Did you...
I actually hadn't heard that in a long time.
Did she see it? when she was nice to you?
She'd been nice to me before. And again, I didn't feel horribly guilty about it, like, oh, I actually killed myself. It's just like one of those things that was like, of all the targets I could have went after on that first one, I kind of kept old dislike of her. And then when I met her on the original, the three tough crowds, the three Colin Quinn shows on NBC, Rosie was on one of them. She was really, like, nice.
Oh, relax.
All right, you got your picture.
She's a flatso, by the way, also.
She was nice to me
Worst thing that a fat woman can be is a flatso. Not even, a fat woman, at least if she's got a good upper portion, at least there's something to go with there. She's just got gut and nothing.
She was just a flat stove with a stussy.
Wow.
Norton, I was on that NBC show, remember?
Yeah, I know.
And I took a different take on that, on her being nice. What happened is she was supposed to do a sketch with Colin.
Yes.
Right?
Married couple.
And then she went, I want to do it. Right? She was like prima donna type of thing. So what happened is she said, I'll do, because what the other show was just us doing Act 4s back then. Remember? It was
called the Town Square. We all sat on steps and did a piece of our act.
All we did was just do what he did, but at the end. So she goes, all right, I'll do one of those. So during practice, during rehearsal, we go over there, she starts sitting around as if she did not realize that it was consisting of me, Norton, Nick DiPaolo, Keith Robinson, and I think it was Voss.
Joey Vega, I think.
Vega?
Yep.
So 5 dudes who've been in the business as long as Rosie, but we're losers. So when she sat down, she realized we didn't give whatever about her. Like she was going, and we were just looking at her like, you fat, you bubblegum head, you better get in line or you're going to get embarrassed. That's when she started getting nice, when she realized she wasn't bigger.
She was in a potentially bad situation there.
See, my only memory of her really being there, aside from I didn't interact with her much, was when she went something about like all the new blood or whatever. She said something very nice about all of us that wasn't to me, it was to somebody else as we were making an entrance about all the comics. Like it was very complimentary, and that was what I remember.
Tell me when they're coming so I can be nice.
No, it wasn't like I just heard her say
hyenas. Hyenas were circling. She knew she was going to catch a fat one in the head because it was like no one was impressed.
And that sketch she was supposed to do, a sketch with Colin where they were a married couple and she was bashing him. And I remember her saying this against somebody. She's like, I just came out this week. Now if I do that, they're going to think, oh, great, she's bashing me. I don't know if that was her real motive, but I remember her saying, I just came out this week. She had just come out of the closet. And
she's gay?
Oh I was as shocked as anybody.
I thought she was a blind mountain climber.
I couldn't believe it. I thought she just enjoyed tacos.
Hope you were listening early.
Oh, my God.
You know what? Wait, we just got played.